Welcome to today's video. Welcome to Copenhagen, Denmark's capital. It is known to be one of the happiest cities in the world. And here you will find delicious pastries, very good food, a lot of culture and history, and some of the kindest people you'll ever meet. And here behind me you can already see its most iconic landmark, the Little Mermaid statue. And little is what it actually is. It is a very tiny statue, and to be honest, in my opinion, it is something you can also skip. In the end, it is just a statue and there are so many people here taking their photo of it. I don't know, for me it is nothing special, to be honest. But in today's video we will discover the things you can do here in Copenhagen without breaking the bank, things that are actually worth doing them. Let's start! We are starting today's video here in the heart of Copenhagen, in the city center. And here behind me you can partially see the Rundetårn. And that is a 17th century tower that was built as an observatory. Nowadays you can pay a little entrance fee and visit it, but there are no stairs up there. There's a spiraled ramp that will take you all the way up to the observation deck, from which you can enjoy stunning views all over the city center of Copenhagen. The last part was no ramp anymore, there were a few stairs, tiny stairs. And it was a bit exhausting to get up, but it's totally fine. With 60 kronas, getting up here is, I wouldn't call it expensive, but considering that this area up here is very small and a bit crowded currently, you would probably not spend too much time here. So considering all of that, it's also not little money, I'd say. Anyway, the views are spectacular, and in my opinion, it's worth it to get the overview of the city center of Copenhagen from here. Actually, you can see pretty much all of the city from up here. Actually, I believe we can even see all the way to Sweden. I'm not sure if you can see that well in the camera, but over there, behind the water, there is Sweden already. Also, not sure if it's visible in the camera, but over there is a bridge. You can cross that bridge and you will end up in Malmö, Sweden. While walking through the city center of Copenhagen, you will at some point definitely also reach the Strøvel. That is this street here, and it is Europe's largest shopping mile. Even though it is a beautiful street and you can discover endless shops and stores here, as well as restaurants and cafes, I do recommend you to not spend too much time here on this street. I feel like it is a bit overrated. It is super crowded and super touristic, and there are so many cute little side streets in this area, so make sure to also get lost a little bit and explore the whole area, not just this street here. And you definitely cannot visit Copenhagen without visiting Nyhavn. It is probably one of the most picturesque places of the city due to those colorful houses here in the background that can be found on various postcards. These 17th century buildings, the lively cafes and restaurants are what makes this area so special. Besides that, it is located in a beautiful area right in front of the canal, and you can even start some boat tours from here. It is also no surprise that Nyhavn used to be the home of the fairy tale writer Hans Christian Andersen. This place comes straight out of a storybook. For 60 krona, you can also do a boat tour, a canal boat tour, which is meant to be one of the best activities here in Copenhagen. The canal boat tour will take more or less 1 hour, and you will of course get some information about the areas you will see. But if you are on a very tight budget, you can also take one of the yellow ferries. They belong to the public transport system of Copenhagen, and they will take you through a similar route here in the canals of Copenhagen. It is included in the public transport, meaning if you already bought a day ticket, for example, you can just use it and jump on those ferries. I feel like Copenhagen doesn't have that many huge sites, such as cities like London, Paris, or even Barcelona. Exploring Copenhagen is more about soaking in the vibe of the city. It's about the feeling of the city. And I do enjoy this tour a lot, even though it is different than many other tours. Denmark frequently ranked among the happiest country in the world. And Copenhagen stands out here in Denmark. That is due to its emphasis on sustainability, on a high quality of life in general, and the public social system. And you do notice the people here are super friendly. They are smiling a lot, even the police or the military. I saw them smiling. Like, that's something you don't see everywhere, that's for sure. And I really like the vibe of the city. People here seem to enjoy their time outside. They enjoy the parks they have in the city. And it is a very natural city. Like, even though it's the capital and also a very big city of Denmark, you still feel like it is a rather small city. The buildings aren't too high. There is lots of green space here. It is a very enjoyable city. You've probably noticed already that there are many restaurants and bars here in Nyhavn. Just one tip, especially for budget travelers, don't eat here. This is one of the most iconic and most touristic places of Copenhagen, as you can see. And you know how it is at these kind of places. You will pay the tourist prices, but there are other places where you can find amazing food. And we will check out one street food market now. By the way, Copenhagen is a very bike-friendly city. You can actually rent a bike and explore it with your bike here. Or you do it as I am doing it right now, and you just walk through the city and might need to take a metro every now and again. But if you decide to walk through the city, always watch out for the bikers, because they don't give a shit about you. They are super fast, and the city is basically made for them. It's incredible how many bikes there are. And well, again, always watch out before crossing a street. I feel like the bikes here are more dangerous than the cars. Now, for all foodies, Brønd's street food market is a must. It is just one bridge crossing away from Nyhavn, and you can find various food stands here. By the way, I don't speak Danish. I might be pronouncing the names of the places completely wrong, so just so you know. And for the Danish people, I'm sorry, I'm doing my best. Anyway, here you can find one of the best burgers in town at the place called Gasoline Grill. I think it got famous because, if I'm not mistaken, it got featured in the New York Times. Gasoline Grill started in an old gasoline station, and that's why it has its name. Nowadays you can find them here, and well, since they are so popular, they are meant to sell out early, so make sure to come here as quickly as possible if you want to eat one of the best burgers in town. Maybe a bit of a strange fact, but important to know is that there are free public toilets basically everywhere in the city. In the center I saw them like downstairs, a little bit underground, which was cool. And then here you can also find them. They're everywhere. This is amazing. One thing that you'll have to try out here in Copenhagen are the bakeries. I've heard that once you try the pastries in Copenhagen, you will not be the same person anymore. So I went for a cinnamon roll that looks absolutely delicious, and it has been recommended to me various times. So this is the very first time I am trying a Copenhagen cinnamon roll. And I'm not disappointed at all. It is super sweet, but it's not dry at all. It's really good, really tasty. With 72 coronas, this was probably the most expensive cinnamon roll I've ever eaten, but it was delicious, and even as a budget traveler, I believe that it is worth it to give it a try at least once during your time in Copenhagen. If you need to move around Copenhagen for longer distances, make sure to make use of its amazing public transportation system. They have self-driving metros, buses, and even ferries that will take you everywhere in the city. Make sure to download the application DOT and get your tickets there to avoid the lines in front of the ticket machines. It is also super affordable to just get a day ticket in case you are planning to use the public transportation various times a day. We are getting a little bit royal here. This is Amalienborg behind me. It is a huge complex of 4 pretty much identical buildings, and this is the official residence of the royal family of Denmark. I'm not sure though if there's somebody in there right now. I've read online that if there's a flag raised above the buildings, that means that there is someone inside currently, but there are 2 buildings that have a flag raised and 2 that don't have it raised, so I don't know what exactly that means now. But in any case, it is absolutely beautiful, this building, this whole complex, and make sure to come here a little bit before noon to watch the guard changing parade. Just around the corner we have the iconic marble church. It has one of Scandinavia's biggest domes, and it is a very iconic landmark here in Copenhagen. It looks absolutely stunning from the outside, but let's see if we can actually get inside of the church. The church is completely free to visit, and it is absolutely beautiful from the inside. Especially the paintings of the dome caught my attention. Look at that, that's kind of cool. We have this garbage can here, and in here you can place your bottle or can if you have one walking through the city. Here in Denmark, they have a recycling system. So basically, whenever you buy a plastic bottle or a can, you will pay some kind of deposit on that bottle. And whenever it is empty, you return it to the supermarket and you will get the deposit back. This ensures that those bottles are being recycled. And here you can place the bottles for people, for example, that need some extra cash, that live on the streets, that come here to collect those bottles and to get some cash in return. So if you are ever bothered by an annoying empty bottle, leave it in one of those places here. Now we're getting a little bit historical. This here behind me is Kastellet. It's an old fortress that has been built in the 16th century, and it is one of the best preserved fortresses of Northern Europe. Nowadays it is a beautiful park area. It is completely free to visit, and you can just walk through the park, passing by cannons and old barracks, as well as a windmill. It is a beautiful area, but take care of the signs and do as they state, because this area here is still used as a military base. If you see it from above, or even if you see it on Google Maps, for example, you will notice that it is shaped in a star. It looks super beautiful. There are little canals in the surrounding area. It is just a very nice area to pass through. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my drone, but I also believe it wouldn't be allowed to film here as this is still used by the military. There are a lot of people running here and doing sports. It is a very peaceful area and really highly recommended to visit it. Due to all the canals, Copenhagen has a lot of beautiful waterfronts. But the one that you cannot miss at all, especially if you are here in summer, is Kajverbod Brygge. It is this area here, and especially in summer, this area becomes super crowded. I am here currently in April, so it's still a little bit early and nobody is in the water. Actually, I saw a few people who just came out of the water a while ago, but I think for most people it's still a little bit too cold. But during summer, people are doing water sports here in the area. They go swimming here in this area. And it's just the perfect spot to enjoy the sun and the beautiful summer weather in general. Now this is it. Our tour through Copenhagen is over. Let me know in the comment section which was your favorite spot here of Copenhagen. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because next week I am going to take you to Christiania, which is the free town of Copenhagen. I'm going to tell you the whole history and why Christiania is a very special and also controversial area of Copenhagen. See you in next week's adventure.